All right, this is 1-10, and this is on the coordinate plane. So the coordinate plane is made up of two number lines, one that goes horizontally. Everything to the right of 0 is positive. Everything that goes to the left of 0 is negative. And then we've got a vertical number line. Everything above the 0 is positive. Everything below the 0 is negative. Now, we have a special name for this line that goes across the horizontal line. What do we call that, Amanda?
X-axis.
The x-axis. And if that is the x-axis, the number line that goes up and down, Haley, is called the
y-axis.
The y-axis, yes. Okay, I'm not sure what's going on there. There we go. It's going a little bit slow. All right, so here's my same coordinate plane. Now, when I plot a point, it's like having an address on a map. And we always do the across movement first. The starting point, where do I start when I try to plot this point? Yes?
Start on the x-axis, right?
Close, yes?
Start at the 0.
You start at the 0, and that has a special name. Does anybody know? Pedro? Nope. The origin. We are starting. We always start when we plot the point at the origin. That is in the center where the two axes intersect. So I'm going to start there. And how I would find the address for this is I start at my origin, always, 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 starting here. And I always do my across movement first. So I go over 1, 2. That's positive 2. I'm going in the positive direction. Okay, so that is my positive 2. And then I'm going to go up 1, 2, 3. Going up, is that going in the positive direction or the negative direction? Ryan. So I'm going to go up 3. Okay? So this is plus 3. We call the first coordinate, we call this the x, and we call the second coordinate in the pair, we call it the y. Okay? Now, if you really want to know what action to do, so we start at the origin. Origin. Okay, we start at the origin, and we do our across movement first. We go across. And then the movement we do. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Hold on. The next movement we do is the up and down movement. Either up or down. Does that make sense? We always start at the origin and we either go to the right or to the left. The across movement first and the up and down second. It's kind of hard to read, so I'll so we always do across, and then we'll do the up and down. That's how we move in our ordered pair. This is also called an ordered pair. Or a coordinate. Also a coordinate. Okay. Okay, yes, Maria.
I always thought that the middle dot was the base.
What'd you say?
The origin. I always thought the origin was the base.
Was the base? No, we call it the origin. It's always called the origin. All right, so can I erase all this?
Yes.
Pause the recording if you need to write these notes. And I'm going to. All right, so when we say that 2, 3, that's what we call the x coordinate, and that's what we call the y coordinate. Okay? It's called an ordered pair altogether. Another way they word it is graph the coordinates. The coordinate. And so 2, 3 can also be called a coordinate. So if I were going to graph these points, what would I do with the 3 first? What do I do with the 3, Angela?
You would go to the middle, and then you would move over 3.
Across 3 to the right. Okay, I'm going to start here, and I'm going to go from here. I'm going to go across 3, and then?
And then you go down -1.
Down to 1. That's my first point.
Is that 2?
Oh, you're right. I'm wrong. What did I do wrong? I went across 1, 2, 3, and then I'm going down 1. So there's my, so I always do my across movement first. Next thing, letter B. What am I going to do, Haley?
You go across to the left to -3.
I'm going to the left. 1, 2, 3, and then?
And then you go down 4.
1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Okay, next, a set.
You start from the origin and go left 1 time,
Left 1 unit.
1 unit, and then go down 2 units.
What kind of 2 is that?
Positive, so you will go up.
And I put my point there. Okay? Next, Jasmine.
So you start at the origin, and then since it's 0, you stay at the origin, and then you move down 4 units.
Okay? Because there's no across. Now, the one thing that I haven't done that you need to do anytime you're graphing is label your coordinates. Okay? So, this one is 0, -4. This one is -1, 2. This one is -3, -4. We always put them in parentheses. And then the first one is 3, -1. Yes, Angela.
They're not always going to have like the A, B, C, D.
Oh yeah, you could have also labeled it with A, as long as you identify it. So this would have been A. You could have done that instead of the ordered pair. Okay? Questions? Can I erase?
Yes.
All right. So now now, these have 4 quadrants. The 4 quadrants, where did we start in elementary school? Which quadrant did we start in? How can you describe the location? Ryan. Quadrant 1, which is where?
To the top right.
Top right. That is our first quadrant. That's where we started in elementary. And from there, we go clockwise. Okay, so quadrant 2 would be which one? Counterclockwise.
Counterclockwise would be where C's at.
Where C is at, that is quadrant 2. The next one. Next one. Yes.
Quadrant 3 is right under quadrant 2, so
Quadrant 3 is in the lower left. And quadrant 4, Maria, is under quadrant 1. Now notice how I show the quadrants. Notice how I show them. Okay, what type of communication system am I using here? Yes. Roman numerals. They are always written in Roman numerals. Okay, so please, yes, Pedro.
I have a question about like that. I'm not sure if it would be like more advanced or something, but for like coordinate planes, you could also do like more than 2 numbers. Would you be able to? Or not?
On the same plane?
Yeah, like instead of only 2 and 3, like 2, 3, and 4, I guess.
Well, yeah, you would need a z-axis. So, but that's not to this. So let's stick with this right now. You would need a z-axis. Okay, so now, here's what I want you to think about. Draw it with your finger. This is asking which quadrant each of these is in. So when they ask me something like that, I draw a mock coordinate plane. Which one is this one in the upper right? Amanda? 1. And the left?
2.
3 and 4. Okay? The biggest problem here is that a lot of people don't know the Roman numeral 4. So remember, it's a V, which means 5, then minus 1, which comes before it. So that's 5 minus 1 makes 4. So 2, 6. Draw it with your finger. Think about the coordinate plane. Here's my origin. I go positive 2 this way. Okay, positive 2 this way. And then up 6. Oh, down 6. Which quadrant would I be in? Angela?
Quadrant 4.
Quadrant 4. Okay? Quadrant 4. I'm going to have to erase this. Well, actually, no, I don't have to. Okay, so this is going to be quadrant 4. Number 2. Where would quadrant 2 be, Donovan?
Quadrant 2 would
I'm sorry, 5, 7. Number 2.
5, 7 would be in quadrant 1.
Good. Number 3. Think about where it is. Here's the origin. I'm going negative, negative. Jeanette?
That would be in the 3rd quadrant.
3rd quadrant. Okay, number 4. Okay, you know what? Actually, I want you guys to pause the recording and finish the rest on your own. Go. So here we go. Over on the right, I've listed all the Roman numerals. Somebody asked me the Roman numerals 1 through 10. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then you have 5 plus 1, which makes 6. You've got 5 plus 2, which makes 7. 5 plus 3 makes 8. And then you have 10 minus 1 is 9, and 10. All right, so number 4, what quadrant would that be in? Princess, positive 6, negative 10.
Quadrant 3.
Perfect. 1, 2, 3. Because we're going across and then down. Right? Okay. Number 5, please. Somebody else. Ashley.
Quadrant 2.
So I'm going negative and then positive. Yep. Quadrant 2 is the right answer. Number 6. Pedro.
I actually have a question about 4. Wouldn't it be quadrant 4?
I got quadrant 4.
Oh, you're right. I'm so wrong. You're right. Number 4. So because we're going positive then negative, it makes it quadrant 4. Sorry, here's quadrant 4. You're right. Okay, number 6. Pedro, you want to do that one?
Sure.
240. Which direction do I go?
You go right
And then?
And then down, so it would be in quadrant 4.
Good. It doesn't matter that that's a really big number. And number 7, Jazz?
Quadrant 2.
Because we're going which direction?
Left first and then up.
Okay, and so that makes quadrant 2. And then the last one, a set.
It would be in quadrant 1 because we're going to the right first and then we stay there.
We stay there. We're actually not in a quadrant. We just stay there. So it's no quadrant. Okay? So actually, that one we would say it doesn't have a quadrant because it's on a border or a boundary. Okay? Okay, one of the things that we might be doing is plotting points and drawing shapes. So what you do is you start at the first point, 5-1. So I'm going to start and I go left 5, down 1. So notice it says plot the points in the graph and connect the points consecutively. So I go -5, down 1. The next one is -2, down 3. And I connect the points. Does that make sense? Okay, I'm going to do the next one. Across 5, down 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, down 3. Connect the points. Up 6, from there, from the same spot. Am I starting at the, well, actually, no. I'm starting at the origin. Does that make sense? I'm not starting at that point. I start at the origin, and I'm going which direction? Right 6. So each time I'm starting back at the origin. Is everybody understanding that? And I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then up 1. No, it's not up 1, 2. D is down 1, 2. Okay, so I go 6, and then down 2. 3, 4, 5, 6, and then down 2. Okay, and we call that point D. I'm trying, hold on. Okay, next one, E. I go across 6 and down 1. And I connect it. So each time I'm connecting it from the previous one, but I start at the origin every time. And where is the origin?
In the middle.
In the middle. Okay, then I go F. Now this gets kind of tricky for kids, but it's just as easy. I start at the middle, and I'm going to move, look what I do in red. I'm going to move 1 full unit and then half. Okay, and then I'm going to go down 1. So that's where my point goes. And I connect it. Okay, from E to that point. Is that making sense? Yeah. How to do the fractional parts? So we connect them. And then I graph the next one, 1.5, and then I stay on the line. Do you guys understand how to do this?
Yeah.
And when you finish, you should end up with some kind of a picture. Now, shh.
I knew we were going to do that.
By rights, this is actually wrong because the last point should be where?
-5 and -1.
-5, -5, -1, which is back here, and I should be connecting my last point. So usually when you're doing this, if you have a closed shape, you should be ending where you started. For your textbook, they're going to give you 4 points. Like draw a square or a rectangle. Does that make sense? Okay, are there any questions? Yes.
Do you want us to draw like the grid in the back? So
No, you never. That's a great question. Okay, so let me show you. On your notebook paper, I'm going to erase this. So the question was, does she want me to draw the grid in the background? And that is one big no. Sorry, this was from the other day, so we're not doing this. I wish I had, this is more how I'd like you to do it. Okay, you've got lined paper. Just do this. Do you understand?
Yeah,
So now you can count. We're not going to put numbers. So like on your lined paper that's like this, you can take a line like this and just make this your X and Y axis. Make sure it's on the blue notebook paper line. Okay? And do those little tick marks. Okay? Do the little tick marks. Now, you don't need to write the numbers now because we're in middle school. It just clouds it up. So if I put a point here, how many across is that? 2. And how many up?
1.
We can count it. Does that make sense? Yes. Okay, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, any questions? All right. I'm going to stop the recording.